I took the plunge, bro. Like I went to the other side and I was like, okay, fuck it. And I spent the money. Like I spent 4 or 5K for a mentorship, the personal development mentorship. So in this video, I'm going to reveal to you the most mind-blowing epiphanies that I got since I started this work. This is going to be a very, very valuable video if you're into coaching or if you're into just personal development. You'll have information here that you haven't seen anywhere else. Let's say you see a girl in school and you want to approach her, but you feel like that anxiety, right? You feel that stomach tension, the tension in your body. You feel uncomfortable in your body. Of course, you don't want to experience anxiety. I mean, who does, right? We want to feel the good emotions like happiness, like excitement, joy, whatever, right? We've all been conditioned to believe that emotions are good or bad. If you label these emotions as bad, you never allow yourself to feel them fully. And so you always kind of resist them and they stay stuck. So you'll be likely to feel them again. And so when doing any kind of introspective work, the number one mantra that you want to have is that all emotions are welcomed and they're okay. If you really want to make this a profound change in you, and you can say that all emotions are the goal. The goal is to feel. Whatever you feel, that's the goal. If you can feel without resisting, then that's the goal, right? As you get more prolific in this kind of work, you'll realize that you're able to inhabit your body more and more. And this is the biggest shift here. We tend to have many emotions that we label as unacceptable. And when we experience them, we try to resist them, as I just said. And so what we end up doing, like idiots, because we don't know better, like we're too smart for our own good. Instead of feeling, you just go into your head and you escape from those emotions by using your mind. It's like this analogy of a drug, right? Like if you feel that you don't feel so good with yourself, you'll just smoke weed or you'll just drink. We do the same thing, but with our mind. And that's absolutely crazy, but it's also true. The more progress you make can be measured by how much in your body you can be, by how much within yourself can you, how much emotions are you allowing yourself to experience. This judgment of labeling emotions as good or bad has to be gone. Otherwise, you'll always resist these emotions, right? This is one of the most profoundly changing things that I've taken from this mentoring. Another one is a bit of a humbling one, right? This is a bit of a, how do I put this in a proper way? When we do a lot of work on a certain topic, for example, let's talk about social anxiety. Maybe you for a long time had a lot of social anxiety, right? You feel really scared about talking to strangers. You feel really scared about maybe talking to a girl or maybe talking to someone who you think is above your status. And you worked on this, right? You started going out, you started putting yourself out there, you did the work. And now you're able to go and talk to strangers, right? This is something you see yourself doing. This is something you can do. You've done this for a long time, but you never really addressed the underlying emotions that were giving you this anxiety in the first place. Your social anxiety maybe didn't go anywhere. And I know this is kind of something that you don't want to hear because your ego is telling you, no, what the fuck, no. I'm not a newbie, like I worked on this for some time. But the truth is that perhaps all this work was just you trying to desensitize yourself, was just you trying to find another way of escaping your emotions. All this work that you put in, all the approaches, everything that you did, you just bypassed the anxiety, but you never really healed the anxiety. And so you have to take this ego hit, which is something that I had to take, to be really honest, and say that, fuck man, maybe all the work that I did until now was just a way to compensate, just a way to cope with that pain. Now we're actually going into the deeper roots of it. And so this is why I'm so passionate about this, right? Because it allows you to actually heal and not just cope with the pain. And this is a fundamental key thing about these mentoring courses, that we do more towards the inner work, more towards the inner world, and not so much worried about the physical or the outside. And finally, and I want to leave with this one because this one is such a huge epiphany and it's kind of related to the first one, but when you finally get this, it's gonna blow your mind, which is the fact that your thoughts, and I talked about this in another video, is just the fact that your thoughts are basically useless. I know it's a very controversial statement, but hear me out. When you feel good, you had a good day at work, you crushed it in the gym, whatever, you go home and you have happy thoughts. Fuck man, I'm such a beast at the gym, man, today was such a good day, it was such a nice weather. And conversely, if you have like a shitty day where maybe a girl ghosted you, or I don't know, you fucked up at work or something, then you have shitty thoughts. You're like, oh, I hate this place, oh, I hate my work, I hate my boss, things like that, right? So do you see how your thoughts are actually a consequence of your emotional state? Do you see how essentially your thoughts are just a projection of those emotions. We can go a bit deeper here, and this is like the big epiphany, right? If your thoughts are a projection of your emotions, what good is it to go to your mirror and say positive affirmations? Isn't it all just a way to cope with your lack of emotional state, with the lack of deep underlying good emotions that you have about yourself? Then why would you not engage in the work of those emotions directly? Why not engage directly with the root of the problem? And so this is precisely the whole mantra of inner work, because emotions are just, your thoughts, are just a projection of your emotional state. So if you work on your emotional state, on your baseline emotional state, then you're able to have a better baseline mindset, a better baseline thought. Like all those abilities, all those virtues that you see everywhere, they shouldn't be something that you actively cultivate. And I know nobody's gonna say this, but those virtues, they are a consequence of you feeling love and self-acceptance. They're not something you have to implant within you. With these notes, I hope that I gave you a good foundation and a good understanding about inner work and about trauma healing, which is something that is very fundamental for this channel. With this video, you have like a good foundation for understanding inner work, and also the notes of a very, very exclusive mentoring group of which I'm participating in. And so if you like this kind of content, you'll see more in the future. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.